Hello, everybody, and once again, welcome to Four Questions with Jeff. Uh, this is Tuesday, 7:30, and I want to welcome everybody to Four Questions with Jeff. I'm Jeff McGowen, candidate for Harris County Constable Precinct 4, and every Tuesday I come to you and I bring information that has to do with current events in the area of Precinct 4, which is North Harris County. It includes Humble, Kingwood, Atascocita Spring, Jersey Village, Tomball, some of Cy-Fair, and anything in between, Greens Point, some of those areas. So north of 1960, all the way to the Montgomery County line, and from the west to 290, all the way to the east of the Lake Houston. So we come tonight, and we're going to talk about a couple of things. The first thing I want to talk to you about is the fact that we are just 34 days before the first votes are cast in Harris County. 34 days. 34. That means that early voting starts in 34 days. Can you believe that? We've been doing this race. We've been in this race for some 2 years now, coming up on 2 years. We've been running this race. I want to say, happy Labor Day, the day after, that I hope that everyone enjoyed their time off, and those people, essential workers, and everybody that had to actually go to work, whether you worked at the grocery store, you're a truck driver, maybe you're a record driver, police officer, firefighter, all of those people who are out there on a daily basis that have to be out there. I want to thank you and say happy Labor Day to you all as well. So 34 days away before the first votes are cast. But guess what else? It's 55 days away from Election Day. Now I'm running this race, and I believe with God's will that we're going to win it. But I can't do it without your help. So I want to thank all of you that donated to my campaign over Labor Day weekend and put monies in a coffer so that we can be successful, so that we can start campaigning the way we need to. Next week, I'm going to have my first home meet and greet, which we haven't done any of those since the campaign started. And I want to thank my good friend Tom, who has graciously opened up his home for me to actually have a meet and greet so that I can meet people out there in the community. So I'm glad of that. It's not going to be what you're thinking. I don't want my wife to get upset and think that I'm going to go and have a house party or anything like that. We're going to do it virtually. So thank you, Tom, for allowing me to or actually hosting a Zoom. So the first thing I want to talk about, because I always give you a safety tip, I always talk about some kind of safety and things like that. What I want to talk about today is something that I saw on one of the local news stations, and that is the scam of the day. This is the scam of the day. These people will come up with anything to try to get your information. They want your information. That's the reason why they're doing this. And what are they going to do with your information? Well, they're going to take that information, they're going to apply for jobs, or they're going to file your taxes for you. They're going to apply for medical assistance. They're going to use your identity to get credit so that they can go and get credit cards and buy cars and things like that under your name. That's the reason why they want your information. So I'm going to tell you this. If somebody sends you something on Facebook, don't click on the link from Facebook. Go to that business and find the grant, find the aid, find whatever it is that you're looking for. But don't click on a Facebook link thinking that is some kind of legitimate business asking you for your personal information. So I'll give you the example that I read today. The example is that FEMA is giving relief money to first responders or essential workers. So if you've worked during the pandemic, then FEMA is supposedly giving money out. Well, guess what? It's not true. It's not true. And if you go to FEMA.gov, they have a list of all the different tricks and things that people are playing, trying to get your personal information. So remember, don't share a link unless you verified it as well. A lot of people are out there actually taking that information without actually checking to make sure that the information is correct. So we got to be careful what we share. We have to be good stewards of the information that we're given. I can't be more firm as far as that is concerned. Don't share if you have not verified. Cross check, verify, just like before you take off on a plane. So that's all I'm going to say about that. That story was actually on KHOU if you want to look it up, but you're not going to get $2,800. I will tell you that I thank Harris County and those at Commissioner's Court for actually giving first responders that are working for Harris County an extra amount of money on their check for being in the way, even though the state and the federal government have not taken that up yet. I want to thank Harris County for actually stepping up and giving their first responders, their essential workers, those people that have to come to work on a daily basis, actually giving them a stipend to help us during this time. So thank you, Harris County, for doing that. Hello, Becky. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Sarah. My friend, I miss you. Of course, thank all the rest of you that are joining or will join at a later date. If you want to donate to Jeff McGowan campaign, you can go to voteforjeff.com, vote4jeff.com, and it'll be popping up here a little bit later. Also, I need volunteers. What I found out, once they put the early voting locations out and they put out the locations for Election Day, in Precinct 4 alone, I have 177 polling locations that I have to figure out a way how I'm going to staff. With a limited budget, I'm going to keep on asking for money. You can also go to voteforjeff.com and donate $5, $2. I'll take it all. You got to have $1 to make $5 and $5 to make 10, 10 to make 20, 20 to make 100, and on and on and on. So I encourage you all to vote, and I'm telling you, I appreciate the overwhelming support that I received over the holiday. Now, what's good is that mail-in ballots are going to be sent out really soon. If you are 65, a veteran, I mean not a veteran, 65, disabled, you are in the military, you are not going to be in town for the election, you're ill. Those are the reasons that you can request a mail-in ballot. Requesting a mail-in ballot is not that little postcard that you may get from either party. You actually have to fill that out and then send it in to Harris County in order to be able to vote or to receive a mail-in ballot. So make sure that you send in and request it now. And as soon as you get that mail-in ballot, don't wait. That's not one of those pieces of mail that you can hold on to, that you can just sit around and say, you know what, I'll get to it next week. With what's going on with the post office, listening to the post office on the post office during this past weekend, they have assured us that any mail-in ballots that they receive, that they're going to be turned in, and they're going to be turned in on time. I applaud them for that. I know that they're going to do the right thing. But if you're worried about it, once again, you can go to harrisvotes.com. There's 11 locations around Harris County where you can actually drop off your mail ballot. Only those 11 locations. I don't want you going to the polling location and dropping it off or anything like that. Wait until Election Day. If you're concerned about the mail, take it to one of those 11 locations. Go to harrisvotes.com. All right. The next thing I want to talk to you about is I need everyone that has voted in the last election, that has registered to vote. I want you to go to hctax.net and check your voter registration. Make sure that everything is right. Make sure that you are registered. That's how you find out if you're registered. Go to hctax.net. And why do I tell you to go to the tax office? Because tax office Ann Harris Bennett is the voter registrar. She is the person that's responsible for voter registration. So I want you to go to hctax.net, check your voter registration, make sure you're up to date, make sure your address is right, and all of that good stuff. Okay, that's very important. The other thing is this: when I was asked in a previous segment, well, what is the difference between straight ticket voting and voting down ballot? And I think that's a good question, because we're going to have a lot of brand new, never voted before, never been never seen an e-slate machine or anything like that. They're going to actually be voting for the first time. So for the old voters, voters that have been voting for the last, like I have. I was 18 when I voted, and I continue to vote. I remember punching the ballot, punching with that little blue pen. And now we have the e-slate machine where everything rolls and you clicking buttons and things like that. We're moving with time. The thing of this is this. We used to be able to vote, go in there, you can vote straight Democrat, you can vote straight Republican. So you vote straight Democrat, you vote straight Republican, and then when you do that, you can basically, other than your school board and all that other stuff, you can really go in there within a few minutes and be done with your voting if you want to vote straight ticket. Well, in the last legislative session in Texas, they knocked that out. You're going to actually have to go and vote for every race. And the reason why I'm stressing that is because I am at the end of the ballot. So if you want to help me out, go and vote from the back and go to the front. And then you get all excited because you're getting ready to vote for the president. So remember that you can't just go in there and punch one button and then walk out. You're going to have to punch every vote, make a vote for every person on that ballot. Good news, bad news. Good news is that it's not that hard. All you do is roll it to the person that you want to know, hit enter, and then go to the next one and vote for the next person. The bad news, Harris County has the longest ballot in the nation. Texas has the longest ballot in the nation. We're voting for judges. We're voting for Supreme Court judges. We're voting for local elections. We're voting for Senate. We're voting for House of Representatives. We're voting for State House, State Senate. We're voting in Texas. It's very important that you remember that it's not one punch and you're done. So that's what I mean when I say vote down ballot. Make sure you're voting for everyone that's on the ballot. And look, do your homework. The sample ballots were just put out so that you can actually see who you're voting for. Know who you're voting for. Know who you're voting for. Do your homework. Do your homework. I have support from a vast majority of people from all sectors of the community. Some of them tell me that they've never voted for a Democrat in their life, and I appreciate that. The thing about it is that being in law enforcement, no one calls me and says, "Hey, Jeff, I'm a Democrat. Can you come to my house and be the police?" No, I don't ask. I don't worry about what your political affiliation is. When you call 911, I'm going to come help you because that's what I swore to do. I swore to do that when I joined the United States Army. I swore to do that when I joined the Harris County Sheriff's Office over 28 years ago. So that's who I am. That's what I do. That's what I love. Okay. So remember, vote down ballot. Remember that you can't do any straight ticket voting. All right. And it came from my good friend Trina. And thanks for that question. So now I will take questions that you may have. But I want y'all to remember this. You can volunteer. You can donate by going to www.voteforjeff.com. You can also, what's very important is you can sign up to work as a poll worker for $17 an hour. Once again, go to harrisvotes.com. That's where that information is located. Good information that's out there. I'm sharing this information not because I'm a candidate, but I know that there's a lot of people that are laid off right now and that can work those 3 weeks for the early voting. $17 an hour. Those hours are 16 hours long some days. For 3 weeks long. So they have to pay you overtime if you go over 40 hours. I'm just saying, there's good money to be made out there. Hello, Ann. Hello, again, Joe. Thank y'all for being here. Coretta, thank you for joining me as well. This is 4 Questions with Jeff. Remember to vote in this election. It is very, very important. And why do I say this is important? I say that it's important because You see what's going on. People ask me, well, why should I vote? My vote don't matter. If your vote didn't matter, then why are they trying so hard to stop you from voting? Why are they trying so hard to stop you from voting? Why are they making it so difficult for you to vote? I'm telling you that your vote does count. I understand the electoral college with the president. The president doesn't make any laws. Okay? The president does not make laws. He only approves or disapproves the laws that the Congress makes, that the Senate passes. So I want you to focus on local elections and vote down ballot, and not just for me, but for the other candidates that's on there. Remember, Texas has the longest ballot in the nation. Remember that you're going to be there for a while. Remember, this is very important, that I don't want you voting on election day. I want you to cast your ballot either by mail-in ballot or voting early. Why do I want you to vote early? Because there's more locations. There's locations all over the place for you to vote. And you don't have to worry about the long lines. It's spread over a 3-week period instead of a one day. If you voted in the primary, you saw how long the lines were, especially on the Democratic side. Make sure you vote early. I'm going to vote on day one. That's October the 13th. Wrote it on my calendar. I am going to vote on that day. Okay? You'll see me on Facebook Live. I'm going to go live, let you know what's going on at the polling location. I need people to go out and vote early. Again, this is Jeff McGowen, candidate for Harris County Constable Precinct 4. It is the largest precinct in the nation as far as the constable is concerned. That's right. Thank you, Jackie. That is correct. Put your mask on and go vote. Use your hand sanitizer. Wash your hands. Social distance. The same things that we've been saying. We're close to 200,000 people that have lost their lives. That's not a number. Those are people, and each one of those people have a mother and a father. They may have siblings. They may have coworkers. So it is very, 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 very important that you go out and vote. And yes, Cynthia, thank you for joining. And NRG is a polling location. You're correct. The NBA, this is how serious voting is on this particular election cycle. The NBA has decided to make their facilities available to vote. NRG is a polling location. These big places up here in Klein, the Klein Multipurpose Center, huge venue, is a polling location. So there are large areas where you can go and vote so that they can spread you out, so that you can practice that social distancing, put your mask on, hand sanitizer, and all this kind of things like that. The other thing is this: if you're 16 years or older, you can actually work at a polling location as well. So if you have nieces, nephews, if you have children that are 16 years or older, they can work at the polling location. Go to harrisvotes.com and sign up to vote. The other thing is this: we're going to all need volunteers. We're going to all work together as far as candidates are concerned to make sure that we get the information out. I don't want to put anybody in jeopardy of getting sick or hurt or anything like that during this pandemic. But I will tell you this: the majority of the people that are working at the polls are your senior citizens because they're retired and they're at home. But if you lost your job, it's not going to affect your unemployment or anything like that. So I'm asking you to go ahead and make that $17 an hour for those 3 weeks. Or if you don't want to do it for the 3 weeks, do it on election day. That's a 16, 18-hour day, one day where you can, get involved. Yes, Miss Gibby, hello, how you doing? Good to see you. And yes, they are going to have something that's going to be unique if you're handicapped, and then they're going to try something new where you can just drive through and vote. I've never seen it. I've been a poll worker and an election judge before, and I don't know how that's going to actually work. All right, we have any questions? Everybody's making comments. I will tell you. Next Thursday, I will have my first meet and greet with my good friend Tom, and he'll be sending out invites to folks that are in his community so that we can do a meet and greet with his friends, some of his closest friends. So again, and then the following week, it will be my good friend Clint. He's agreed to host one as well. So look, if you're interested in hosting a meet and greet or something like that as well, want to talk about supporters and things like that, all I want you to do is go to my website, www.voteforjeff.com, say I want to host a meeting. All right. I don't see any questions. Hmm? I've never seen drive through. The question was, I've never seen drive in voting as an election judge. We do have handicap or handicap accessible voting where we would take the voting machine out to the curb for you. That's called curbside voting. But we've never had drive-through voting that I know of. But I'm encouraging you to take advantage of whatever makes you comfortable. But I'm going to tell you, they give you the little things to put on your finger so that you can vote and you can use the machine. Bring your own hand sanitizer. They have hand sanitizer there. They are doing everything. They're practicing the 6 foot rule where they're social distancing. I have cards and things like that, but I'm not too crazy about having people out at the polls handing out cards. My signs will be there and everything. We'll find out where we are on November the 3rd. That is election day. And I'm just hoping that the majority of us do the right thing, vote early. You can't vote often, but make sure that you know what's going on. You'll see commercials and things like that coming out real soon from my campaign. I appreciate everybody being here. Thanks for all of the comments. Remember, like, share, have your own watch party with Jeff. You can do all of those things. If you're watching this video after the fact, you can still like it. You can still share it. You can still submit questions and things like that. Again, I'm Jeff McGowen, candidate for Harris County Council, Precinct 4, and I approve this message. Thank you.